Good morning. Good morning, guys. Wait, IGC. Is it a cannabis stock now? Didn't this used to be a crypto stock? No, never mind, never mind. This has always been a cannabis stock. Oh yeah, no, back here it was a crypto pump back in early 2017. All right. I had 3,000 shares of Tesla yesterday at the close. I covered 2,000 of them on the split news, but I'm still short 1,000 shares. And yeah, I'll talk a little bit more about Tesla later. Good morning. Yeah. Good morning to everyone except the people who trade real money. Any opinion on Square and Fiverr? Square probably needs a few weeks to set up. Fiverr, same thing here. I'm short Fiverr since this day here. I still have like half of my short. I'm thinking this thing could pull back to mid-low 80s over the next few weeks. But this one too, you know, in a couple of weeks, maybe we will get a good long setup in it. Right now, I think it's probably gonna go lower. I also updated the FAQ with my favorite trading books, with the top trading related books. FAQ, let's see. Grow. Um, um, mm, maybe. It would be better if it went sideways a few more days. MIK. This thing is not a, no, it's not a momentum leader. It's kind of sluggish, right? It had a good move here, but like the past few months, like it's been very sluggish, and well, yeah, no, I don't think it's a good one. Have you ever been on a boot camp at Stockby? No. Ollie? It's a slow name, slow mover. ADR 3.6. Don't trade this one. The setup is okay, I guess, but it's just a slow mover. DXRT. No, it's not failing. It's just digesting the move. Look at it's just finding support on the rising 20 EMA. It just had a random pump midday. I don't know why. If they had news or something. Because the thing is, it was way down on the day. It was down like 6% on the day, and then it had this big reversal midday. MXIM. It's a buyout candidate. I don't know. You have to read up on it. This thing may be tight just because it's a buyout thingy. I don't know if it was just rumors or if there's a real deal here. Gotta do some more research. But in either case, the ADR is 2.1. I avoid. Guys, you give me a lot of stocks with low ADRs. You should check my past swing trading schools. I've uploaded them since last week. Just go to my YouTube, and I usually, written in a headline when it's usually like it lasts like 30 to 60 minutes is the swing trading school. You gotta put the ADR in your scans. Like I get it. Like 30% of the stocks I get are these low ADR stocks. Missed? No. Buy setup on CRSB. It's setting up. I don't think it's right there yet, but yeah, it may be setting up for like next week or so. Yeah, that's something I'm watching. Like Tesla is my main watch today. Probably my only watch, to be honest. I really don't see much right now. I think the market is in a choppy period. Like we are hanging out near the highs, but I just see a lot of. I just don't see much exciting. I don't see many good setups. I think we need need a couple of weeks for things to start setting up again, and we may finally maybe start getting some pullback. I went short TQQ yesterday, 10,000 shares, in case we get a deeper pullback, maybe back to like low hundreds or something. But anyways, Tesla. Like, obviously it's gapping up on the stock split news, but it's gapping up. Do you see where it's gapping up? It's gapping up into that declining 65 EMA. Like if it starts getting rejected, like taking out opening range lows and stuff like that, I'm gonna add back those 2,000 shares I covered. I'm still short 1,000, but I'll add back those 2,000 shares and maybe even add more. Like if it sells off on this news, like it's gapping right into the lower end of this big base, this mid-high 1400 area. Let's look at the pre-market data. It hit as high as 1490, and I covered those 2,000 shares, unfortunately near the highs, like 1487 or something. But this thing could have been 1515 pre-market, so you never know. Anywho, that's why you just gotta obey your stops no matter what. So yeah, I'm watching this thing. Other than that, not really much going on. Covered some overstock. I covered some into weakness yesterday near the open. Then it had a big bounce. It bounced 20%, and then it started building lower highs. It put in a lower high on the 60-minute chart, and then intraday start building lower highs and had a range break here in the low 97s. That's where I added another like 8,000 shares or something, and those I've covered late day and pre-market. So I'm down to my core, which is, well, I'm not entirely down to my core. I have more than a core, but I'm still short 29,000 shares. I think this thing goes back to $70 minimum, probably $60 over the next few weeks. NVAX, this one I shorted yesterday. Opening range. Yeah, I didn't stream yesterday, right? Yeah, that was yesterday. Yeah, I was trading from my car. I had a dentist appointment. It was like a specialist thingy with a special like X-ray camera thingy that spinned around my head. And I couldn't get home in time due to traffic, and I wasn't even planning getting home, but there was just an insane amount of traffic, so I had to like stop on the road. Let's see. So NVAX shorted opening range lows. Then I added late day when it got rejected of the declining 10 EMA. I added more in like 163s. So I'm short 11,800 shares. Fiverr is still weak, kind of building lower highs, and ZS is right on the 50-day. Let's see, if it closes below the 50-day, I'm getting out of it. W, now this one, like literally here is when I bought it, okay? And there was some guy on YouTube or Twitter, I don't remember, like, it's just hilarious. I'm trying to make a point here, okay? So no, it doesn't matter how much you hate the stock or a company, okay? If there's a good setup on it, like if there's a 5-star setup on it, you have to buy it, okay? So literally, like I bought it this day and I uploaded it on YouTube, the video, and the guy saw it and he's like, "Hey, I see your long W. You should stop trading right now." And the stock goes up 42% in the next, 7, 8, 9 sessions. And this is literally the strongest stock in the markets right now. Except for these, random micro-cap pumps. But, if you look at the real stocks, the like mid and large caps, this is the strongest stock out there. It literally hit all-time highs yesterday. It bounced off the rising 10-day perfectly and hit, it straight up, hit all-time highs. Like, the point is, it doesn't matter what your opinion is. Like, your opinion is shit. It doesn't matter. I don't care who you are, and the less money you made in the markets, the more shit your opinion is. Like, my opinion is shit. That's why I trade setups. Like, I've been wrong on so many things, and yet I've still made money on them because I trade the setups. Okay, with that being said, it's not really, again, there's just not many things I see. Like Pinterest could be interesting maybe for next week or the week after. It's holding really well after earnings, had a very high volume day, 112 million almost shares. This is a large cap name. I know they had been, a lot of call buying lately. And, it's just, the 10 and 20 days are moving averages are, the 10-day has caught up, and maybe, next week or so, or the 20-day will be catch up, and then we may have a good setup on this thing. I'm long a few shares. I've sold like a third so far. I had 30,000 shares, I think. I have 20,000 left. But I'll double, triple that position on a good setup. Yeah, there's just not much going on today. Today is a day you manage positions. Just literally no good setups anywhere. mRNA gapping up into the higher end of this base. It looks like it may be getting rejected off the 20-day here. It's building on a base. It bounced off the 50-day yesterday, so it's building a range here. LRN, this one I bought on this day, and then I got stopped out on this day here. And now it looks like it's gapping up slightly on earnings. XP had some earnings. Not really a great setup. Yeah, and Shumia is gapping down a shitload on shit earnings. The pump is failing. All right, that's that. I really don't see much to do here today. FUV Tiger, no. FUV had a good setup here. Where's the good setup here? Like what? I mean, this looks nothing like the setup I'm trying to teach you. Here was a good setup. This was a 5-star setup. Okay? If you got it in the like 620s or 630s. But now, like, where's the setup? Tiger? Tiger looks better. Tiger actually looks pretty decent. Looks pretty decent. I would prefer, yeah, it looks pretty decent, like a 4-star setup. Sold BA? What do you mean sold BA? I haven't been long this thing. PRPL? No, not yet. It had a setup here. This is a 5-star setup, okay? And now it probably needs, maybe next week. This is a good setup. Memorize that. Here's another good setup. You see this? You put these in your pattern databases. Takes could be, like, if it takes out opening range lows, could be a short in it, but it's too thin for me. I'm not gonna trade it. It's way too thin for me. Boxel, it's just a pump. It's a Samsung pump. They've been trying to. They're pretty much like a, you know, they sell like Samsung products and they trying to make it look like they have a partnership with Samsung. It's just all a fraud. You know, obviously Robin Hooders, they believe that shit and they're buying it, but you know. LPSN, no. Maybe next week. Nugget. Overstock, relative strength. But it's nowhere close to the 20. There's no relative strength here. It's gapping down a shitload. Where's the relative strength? Like, the markets are gapping up quite a bit. Overstock is gapping down. If anything, has relative weakness. All right, let's see. Markets open up in 1 second, and let's go. Again, I'm only watching Tesla pretty much. I took a starter, or added to my existing short, a small starter, 1,300 shares. You know what? I'll add more. I shorted 2,600 shares of Tesla. I'm anticipating a sell the news here, but you know, I may be dead wrong. It's a very tight stop. That's the great thing about Tesla. You can have some really tight stops. I added a little bit to my NVAX short. This thing has an enormous downside. Like, the 50-day moving average is almost 30% lower. So I added a couple of thousand shares short. I added like 3,500 shares short. Opening range lows. Okay, Tesla, so far nice follow through on the opening range lows short. This NVAX could really, this thing could easily go down another 30%. Like, this thing is up, or was up 4,200%. It's still up like 3,100% from January, since January. The 50-day pullback would just be healthy price action. This XP is breaking out with earnings, like the setup coming here in today. Like if it was a regular breakout, it wouldn't have been that good. But considering it had earnings, it could be a setup. Like he had a better setup here, but it could be a setup, like a 3.5 star. But right now the markets are a little bit, breakouts haven't had much follow through the past couple of weeks, so. Something to take into consideration. No, TC2000 is just shorting. The low win rate? Wait, for 2019? 2019 it was an incredible momentum market. 2019 was an incredible year for breakouts. Like the first 4 or 5 months and the last 2 months were just incredible. Wow, NVAX is straight down. Nice, nice, nice. covered a tiny bit of NVAX. Onvo and VFF. Onvo, no, it's not a momentum leader. You can clearly see how choppy this thing is. Like, it doesn't have a clean trend. It's a very choppy stock. VFF, no, same thing. It's really not a clean stock. It's kind of choppy, especially for a micro cap. Nah, avoid. Yeah, Spotify bounced perfectly off the 50-day. And now it's back into this base here, 265 area. Redfin long, and no. You need tightness. Like here it was a good setup, okay? This is not. Look at how wide it's been, you know. You need tightness before the breakout, not wide action. Guys, every year is an incredible amount to make money. Every year there's incredible opportunities to make money. There's no, as a short-term trader, like either if you're a day trader or a swing trader, you know, you really have no excuse to make less than 100% per year, no matter what year. Like if you're shorter term. I'm not that short term anymore, but if you combine, you know, there's just no excuse. Yeah, well, NVAX today was just the ad spot. Like I'm short way higher from yesterday, but yeah, it's a nice one. I've covered most of the ads. Melee, no, probably needs a few. Maybe next week. It needs to build a base here. NVAX has still like 20% of downside in my opinion, easily. It's still way off. Like I only covered the ads, I still have all the shares from yesterday. Overstock too, I don't think there's any support on it until like the rising 20-day. Like there could be an ad spot if it takes out lows of the day, to be honest. It could be an ad spot there. Hopefully it loses the lows of the day like later in the day and has a big, you know, $7 fade or something. That would be nice. Pinterest, look at how nicely it undercut the 10-day and now it's reclaiming. This is very bullish price action. On a 60-minute chart, it hit the rising 65 EMA and right back into range. This is very bullish action on Pinterest. I think next week we may have a really nice buying opportunity on it. This thing may want to go to 50 or something. 50 plus. Oh, GSX, nice. I'm gonna cover some more GSX into this little flush here. Yeah, but where's the setup on NIO? Crocs? Nah, nah, I don't really like it. It's a Shopee name. MCRB episodic pivot? Nah, I don't need. It's just it's a biotech name. These are very very random. Like I don't know. Like I know it has good data, but maybe we get a setup on it, next week or the week after. Net. What are we looking at here? Does it look anything like the setup I'm trying to teach you? Yeah, it bounced off the 50, but where's the setup? SHLL. Yeah, I'm watching. It's kind of surfing the 50-day, but this is a pump stock. It's not really an institutional quality name. If it gets a pump on or PR, if it starts taking out that high 20 area, yeah, maybe. Chumia, what happened? Reality hit. What about severe? Yeah, you know what? This could be a good one. I think it could be a good one. Especially if it starts breaking out in the next few days. Guys, BAC, I don't even have to pull it up. Like I already know it has a low ADR, and like where's the setup on it? It's just a random, very slow stock that's been going up for the past 2 weeks. Where's the setup on it? Guys, you need to watch and re-watch the short schools I've been putting up, and then you need to re-watch them again. Like it's a very specific setup, okay? Like a lot of the stocks you mentioned, just are random stocks that have, made some random moves. Again, like Maxer had a decent setup here. Where's the setup here? It's just a random stock that went up after it broke out of a nice with a nice setup. You need to be on this thing here, not here. This is where you need to be on it. Nicola? Again, where's the setup? Peloton? I got stopped out of Peloton yesterday, but maybe next week if it goes sideways a bit more. It is holding right, surfing the 20-day. It is holding up well, but next week maybe. Take two. Guys, ADR 2.8. Come on, guys, you need to put the ADR in your scans. This random slow stocks, you're never gonna make any good money on these things. You gotta be in the fast movers. Tupperware, yeah, this one actually looks pretty decent. Maybe in a couple of days, but this thing is a very clean mover. This is exactly what we're looking for, a clean move, and then wait for sideways and tightness, and it's a building on the tightness. Maybe later this week or next week. Yeah, this could be a good one, but it's too early. CSIQ, nah. If in the solar sector, I think SCDG and EMPH are setting up much better, but both for next week. CSIQ, it's not as clean. I'd rather play SCDG or EMPH next week. Shui, yeah, maybe, yeah. Apps, no. Guys, the 10-day or 20, it needs to be, we're looking for a breakout, okay? It needs to be on the 10 or 20 or the 50-day. This is like way above all of these. It's 20% above the 10-day. It's 33% above the 20-day. Like it's just the stock that made a big move. Here's a good setup. Look at how tight it is. It's right on the 10 and 20. It's up in the stratosphere right now. Hey, thanks, Smiggy. That's a very good link. Guys, look at what Smiggy just posted. You need to watch and re-watch those videos. And then you need to re-watch them again. My entry? As early as possible. As early as once it starts breaking its range. That's where my entry is on those things. On those setups. GSX right now is bouncing off the 20-day, which is actually a very bullish price action. But I'm still I covered some. I still have about half of my shares from last week. Pinterest, wow, this thing looks great, absolutely great for next week. Like there are a lot of potential setups, but most of them, you know, we need time. Like I think next week we're gonna start seeing some good setups again, but most of them need some more time. Most of them need some more time. Oh wow, IGC straight up halted. Okay. Live person, it probably needs more sideways. Again, the 10-day needs to catch up. Like these kinds of setups, like it's made a big move. You know, it needs to the 10 and 20-day need to catch up, or at least the 10-day. Again, it's way above the 10-day. HMHC, nah, it's very choppy, and yeah, maybe next week. Maybe next week when the 20-day has caught up and it builds a bit more tightness. PBI a good short? I don't really see a setup here. It's doubled in the past few weeks, but yeah, I mean maybe, you know, the 60-minute chart, like if it loses the 635 area, yeah, maybe it can pull back a little bit. Zillow, well, Zillow I'm long. Like Zillow had a really good 4.5-star setup right here. That's when I bought it on the stream. And now it needs to go sideways, maybe in a couple of weeks. Again, you know, the 10 and 20-day need to catch up. They need to be surfing these moving averages. Either the 10 or the 20 or the 50. Or preferably a combination or of the two. One. But this thing is just, you know, there's no setup here. Like, where's the sideways? Nah. Not clear. And also, this is like the most illiquid stock ever. Guys, you need to put at least a couple, like say 5 million of dollar volume cutoff on your scans. Like this thing like trades a couple of $100,000 worth of stock per day. Like it's just too little. Like, you know, this thing shouldn't be on anyone's scan. You need to, you know, take your account size and multiply it by 50. So let's say if you have a $10,000 account, or multiply by 100, even better. So if you have $50,000 account, your volume cutoff should be 5 million. If you have a $200,000 account, your volume cutoff should be 20 million. And even like no one, should have, yeah, you should have at least like a, say, $2-3 million volume cutoff on your scans. There's no reason to trade stocks that trade less than a few $1,000,000 worth of stock. It's just too random. The more I'm here, the more I feel bad you have to actually say the same thing over and over. I know. My life sucks. No. Come on, Chan. I mean, guys. Dicks. What I think of dicks? Dicks are not my thing. And if the ticker dicks, I can't even get it on my on TC2000. I don't know what it is. Yeah, what's up with spamming the LPSN ticker? It's not a good setup. There's like 3 people that mentioned it. I'm trying to teach you guys a very, very specific setup that anyone can trade. And you don't have to, trade full time to trade that setup. You can, trade it like, you can do your scan, spend 10-15 minutes scanning, right? Find some good setups, and then you can trade it. You can do it from work. You can trade, it's just very simple setup, but obviously, it's one of the simple setups out there. Very few criteria. You have very few things you have to think of. It's just about learning the pattern. Like you have to force your brain to recognize a good setup. It takes a long time, but otherwise it's a very simple setup. You almost need no brain to trade the setup. That's why I like it. The less I have to think, the better. Like you can literally make millions. Everyone in this room can make millions on this simple setup. But you have to watch the the swing trading schools I posted. You have to memorize those patterns. You have to do your own work. You have to go back and look at hundreds, if not thousands, of past big movers and find these setups. Most of you are not willing to do the work. Wow, mRNA sold off on the news. Now it's right on the 50-day again. Faye? What's the ADR in Faye? Why do I keep guys? Why do you keep posting tickers with ADRs of less than 5? Yeah, I mean, look, the breakout trading, like breakout trading works when the market is, strong. Like in a period like this, breakouts don't work. What the hell is here? In periods like these, breakouts don't work. And you won't get any setups. That's a good thing. You can just, chill. You can take a vacation. Like, this is the NASDAQ. When the 10-day, the 20-day moving averages start sloping lower and the 10-day gets, is lower than the 20-day, you don't trade the breakouts. Even if you see a good setup, you shouldn't trade it. Right? Same thing here. Now I trade different methods, so I do trade during these periods. I do a lot of mean reversion stuff, but these periods you shouldn't trade. Like when the 10-day and 20 days start sloping lower and the 10 days below the 20-day, no trading, no breakout trading. And it's fine. You don't have to trade every day, every week, every month. This is where the big money is made, okay? This is where you wait out the bad times. And this is where, when the 10-day starts rising higher, the 20-day gets higher, the 10 is above the 20-day. This is where you double, triple your account, okay? Then you have periods like these that are like sideways. If you can break even during these times, you're doing a good job. And then you get period like this, again, you double, triple your account. Then you sit out these types of periods when the moving averages start sloping lower, the 10 and 20. And then you get a period like this where you double, triple, quadruple your account. Boom. And when the 10-day and the 20-day start sloping lower and the 10-day is below the 20-day, that's when you sit and wait. You go and enjoy life. Let the amateurs trade. Let them churn their accounts. Let them blow up. And when the times get good again, that's when you double, triple, quadruple your accounts. Boom. It's very simple, but it's not easy. Simple, but not easy. Staying out of the markets is the hardest thing to do. Can you do these moving averages on TC2000 for free? Yeah. I think TC2000 has a free version with like 15-minute lag. But yeah, I mean, you can do any indicator for free as long as you have TC2000. Visa, I can tell you right now, Visa has low ADR. Yes, it's not a momentum leader. It's just been in a shop range for months and months. It's a very slow mega cap stock. There's never been a good setup on this thing. Just avoid these things. Guys, if you can't get the average daily range, like you have to put the condition in TC2000. Like get TC2000. They have a free version with I think 15-minute lag, but you don't need. Like you can use the real-time data in any other platform like TradingView. Just get the scanning in TC2000. Like like stuff like Visa. It's just a waste of time. You won't make any money on something like this. Like this thing, making a 10% move for this stock is a huge accomplishment. You want to be in stocks that can go up 10% in a day. If you go to my blog, you can get the link in my on my Twitter profile or on my Twitch profile. It's chartsandstories.com/about. Okay. like before you write anything in the chat, before you interact with me in any way on any social media, you should read this, okay? And here's the ADR formula. I'm gonna make it, let's see, Control F, ADR, okay? Here's the formula, okay? You paste this, you copy this formula, then you click here, let's see, no wait, then you do this, easy scan, new condition, you know, like 3-month momentum scan. Wait, let's do it like this. I'll take one of my existing scans, but just pretend you're making a new scan. Let's just take you need to do this for 1 month, 3 months, and 6 months. But let's just open this scan, okay? First you put, the first criteria is the dollar volume. You click the plus icon, choose conditions, write the dollar volume, right? Dollar volume dollars 1 day. No, sorry, dollar volume. Click there, and then you put greater than, like no one should have less than 5. This is 80 million. This 800,000 means 80 million. Or is it 80,000? But no one should have less than 5 million in their scans. Everyone should probably put at least like 10 million in dollar volume cutoff. Then you put the next one, ADR. You have to make this. You have to do indicators. Wait, how the fuck do you do that? I haven't done this in a while. Oh, gosh. Wait. Library. Jesus Christ. How the hell do you do new condition? Is it a new condition? Oh, you have to do this, I think. Oh yeah, you have to do this. Okay. First you have to do like a new condition, ADR. And then you paste the formula, ADR. And then you save it, right? And then when you make this new scan, let's take 1 month gainers. Then you add it, click the plus icon, and then you click ADR, and here it will be. Here, ADR. 20 days is what I've named it. And then you do a new one. Again, you have to like make a new condition. And then you have to put it here, like 1 month, C-min L22. You do 3 of these. This is the price change from the lows of the past 22 sessions. That's 1 month. And then you can do 3 months, which is 66 or 65. And then you do 6 months, which is what, 120, 130 or something. Doesn't matter the exact amount. And then you do these 3 scans, like ADR should be greater than, I use 4, but you should use at least 5 or 6, those of you with smaller accounts. And then dollar volume at least 5 or 10 million. Those are the only 3 scans you need to use. That way, and then you I don't know how many candidates you will get. Let's just try. It's just, right now it's just like 36 minutes after the market, so there's not gonna be a lot of candidates, but I'll change this from 80 million to 10 million, okay? And then I'll change this to 5%. And rank, you have to click rank here, and then I use like 93%, like the top 93% gainers past 22 sessions, and then a scan results. I get 42 items. Now obviously after the market closed, there's probably gonna be over 100 items here, because a lot of stocks haven't traded $10 million volume yet, but they will have at the end of the day. And then you have to tweak the criteria. You either have to like increase the ADR, Like if you get more than say 50 or 60 results in any of these scans, you have to either increase the dollar volume, increase the ADR, or increase the ranking here, or a combination of all three. You shouldn't get more than 50 or 60 results in any of those scans. Holy shit, NVAX! Oh my fucking god! It's a 600,000, almost $700,000 trade since yesterday. I hit, oh shit, I got a big one. Like obviously, I don't really recommend shorting for anyone with less than a few million in their accounts. It's much harder than going long, in my opinion. But holy shit, for those who have this, you know, earned the shorting, what's the word? Whatever. For those of you short, this was a home run. Oh shit! Can we get a million? Oh, if this thing goes to $100, potential $1 million trade. Ah shit! I got stopped out of Tesla. Looks like Tesla is strong. You know what? I covered the ads. I took a $30,000 loss on those 2,600 shares I shorted, but I'll keep the 1,000 shares I'm still short. I'm gonna use the after hours highs as my stop. I wanna see how it acts later in the day. Right now it's strong because the markets are obviously also very strong, but we'll see. Maybe we start selling off later in the day, and in that case we'll see. Otherwise, if Tesla closes strong, I'll cover the last 1,000 shares too. Oh, if just Overstock could do what NVAC just did. Holy fuck. I still have a 10,000 shares short of NVAX. Or wait, how much is it down? 40%? No, you know what? I'll cover another 4,000 shares right here. I've still 6,000 shares left. I'm gonna trail them. I'm gonna trail these 6,000 shares. Yeah, well, biotech stocks, especially like the micro and small cap biotechs, obviously, yeah, there is added risk of trading them, and if you're unsure, don't trade them. There's so many good setups in non-biotechs. There's just, you know, generally you should just avoid the small cap biotechs. No, I don't use TC2000 for trading. I just put the white lines on the chart to visualize where my stop area is. It's just easier to keep track. Yeah, exactly. I hooked the blue whale. You have tried $3 million volume? Yeah, yeah. You should just everyone should just use like 10 million or something. Oh, TC2003 doesn't have the chart tools or the scanning capabilities. Okay, I didn't know that. It's a TC2000 gold. How much is it? Worden.com. Wait, Worden.com is down? No, it's not. Oh, here it is. Let's see. TC2000.com. Let's see. Pricing. So let's see. Silver. Wait, don't they have a free one? Silver. Let's see. Oh yeah, probably. Yeah, most of you probably need to get. It's $25 per month. Come on, like everyone should get it. Like you don't need anything else. You don't need. Oh, if you want to do the annual thing, it's 25 per month. It's really like you should invest if you want to make trading your profession. If you're determined to make millions, you should invest in the correct tools. And if you can replicate the ADR formula in like Think or Swim, I think you can. Like, there's nothing wrong with using Think or Swim. But it's all about identifying the strongest stocks that have the most volatility. That's the principle. Like, it doesn't matter what platform you use. Like, I use TC2000. I have the formulas for TC2000, but if you can replicate anywhere else, that's great. But it's all about avoiding the slow stocks. Like today, I've gotten like 100 suggestions or tickers I looked at just in the past hour, and like a third of them were just slow and sluggish stocks. Like, it's a waste of time. If you want to make a lot of money, you gotta be in the fast stocks. If you want to have aggressive returns, if you want to have triple digit returns year in, year out, you gotta be in the fast moving stocks. Let the amateurs trade the slow moving stocks. Let the billionaires trade the slow moving stocks. Those of you who don't have many millions in their accounts, or tens of millions or hundreds of millions, stick to the fast moving stocks. Wow, Tesla is so far really strong. You know what? I'll just cover the last 1,000 shares. I'll just cover it. It's just in the inside of a range. I want to see how it acts here in the 1500 area or on the 20-day. But so far the Tesla action is very bullish. But obviously markets are strong too. Oh, TQQ is really strong. I'm gonna cover it. I shorted it late day yesterday when it broke down below this range. But I just covered it. Took a $45,000 loss on it. Markets are very strong. But this NVAX, this thing is paying for so many small losses. Once you catch a big one, a big home run trade now and there, it's just gonna, those are the ones that gonna make you big money. You know what? I'll cover a few more. I'll keep 4,500 shares of NVAX. It's like third size. I've covered 2/3 now from the overnight, and also obviously intraday or the today's ads I covered already covered. Like, what I thought Tesla would do would be something like this, like a gap up into the high end of the base and then a fade back. But obviously Tesla is very, very strong. But I don't think, we'll see what happens. Like, it's right in the middle of this range, this high 1400 area. Like, if it starts fading here and taking out the downside ranges, I'll get back short. But if it reclaims this like high 1400 area, starts building higher lows and gets above this 20-day moving average here, we may have a setup on the long side coming. Right now, I just don't have enough information to know if this is gonna go higher or lower. It's just inside of the range. Now, if just Overstock could do what NVAX just did, I'll be very happy. If NVAX, or sorry, Overstock takes out lows of the day later, I'll add to it. I'm short 29,000 shares, but I'm gonna add to that thing. I'm gonna add another 10, 15 or so. Hey Smiggy, is it okay if I quote you on Twitter? What you wrote like 10 minutes ago? Great. Hey guys, any of you who are still following David Day Trader, how has he been doing lately? I use market orders all the time. That's why I only trade liquid stocks. He lost 400k on today. On what did he lose 400k? It's like pocket change for him. But he's like more of an indicator of how all the Robin Hooders are doing. Since they're like literally tens or hundreds of thousands of wannabe traders that are following his every move. So he's like a good indicator of what's going on. Like he's obviously been printing money past 4 months. But I just want to keep track of what's. Yeah, he's worth like 200 million. Yeah, Penn. Yeah, but he owns Penn from like, I don't know what his average is. Maybe like mid-20s or something. But yeah, Penn, like back in March, Penn went down like what, 90%. That must have really felt. Holy shit. Like a lot of his net worth is, you know, tied to Penn. It went down 90% in a month, and now it's up 1100% in what, 5 months? That's a hell of a swing, man. Why is he worth 200 million? Because he sold a stake in his firm, Barstool Sports, for to Penn. I think he sold like a third of the company for like, I don't know. Oh no, wait. How much did he sell? I didn't think he sold everything. He sold like a third for like a couple of 100 million in Penn stock. He got paid in stock from Penn. I added a little bit to my overstock, just small. 6,000 shares, so I'm short 35,000 shares now. Just in case it pulls an NVAX and goes down to like 72 bucks or something. Just in case. Oh, he's been averaging down on Amazon and Shopify. Well, actually, Amazon is trading like a mid-cap stock. This is a high tide flag. Like this is like a 4-star setup right here on Amazon. ADR is only 3.1%. But if it can go sideways a couple of more days, put in some narrow, even more, you know, narrow days, you know, it's getting really tight here. This thing looks, you know, holy, it looks like it wants to go like 4,000. It really does. This is a high tide flag developing on Amazon. Pretty amazing. These things just go straight up. And if it goes to 4,000, it will probably be a $2 trillion company, right? Yeah. Apple is already a $2 trillion company. That's just amazing. $2 trillion. Just amazing. Wow. Yeah, I'm still long, guys. If it's in this list, these are all my positions. If it's in this list, I'm in it. If it's not, I'm not in it. Yes, VIR, I'm in it. Well, Interactive Brokers is not really the best shorting broker. Guys, a lot of you, guys, before you write anything in chat, you need to go look at my profile on Twitch. You need to go to this link and read everything. I just kept getting same questions over and over again. Tiger, it's not that good looking setup. I would have preferred 1 or 2 more days of sideways because it's not really that tight. Or I mean, I don't know. It could work. It could work. Maybe, yeah, it may be 3.5 star setup. Maybe 4. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just a little bit. I don't know. It doesn't look right. A lot of stocks are very strong right now. I think next week we're gonna get some really good stuff. Oh, TTD, I got stopped out yesterday. It closed below the 20-day and today it's just straight up. SCDG building a potential high tide flag. PDD for again also for next week could be a really good setup. But I think most of these stocks need to go sideways a few more days. Peloton too needs to go sideways a bit and then it will be a really good setup. This Carvana also next week could be a good setup. This snapshot is actually a little bit intriguing. It's below the 50-day, but it's kind of surfing below the 50-day. Sometimes these stocks do it, but it's building higher lows and it has a range here that's getting tighter. Like in a couple of days, especially when the 20-day comes down a little bit, the yellow line, you know what? This could be a good setup. It's a very orderly stock. You know, it surfed the 10-day, then the 20 days took over as a support, and now the 50-day. Now it's kind of surfing below the 50-day, but it's building higher lows. It could be a bear flag too, but you know, if it breaks higher above that mid 22 area, it's gonna be a good long setup. Preferably, maybe you know, in the next couple of days at least. Probably needs a few more days of sideways, but it's starting to get interesting. But there's a lot of these, like you know, that could be looking good in the next few days. Workhorse, I'm also stocking for a short. I think it's gonna do what Nikola did a couple of months ago. You know, it had made a big move, went sideways for a month or so, and then it lost a rising 20-day and went down like 40%, 35% in 3 sessions. I think Workhorse is looking similar. Made a big move. Now it's been going sideways for over a month, and now it's kind of below the 20-day. The 10 and 20-day moving average have turned lower, and you know, if this thing starts breaking down, it could easily go down 20-30% in a few days. Hopefully it doesn't break down today. I would love to see it break down maybe tomorrow or Friday. So Tesla is now right on the 20-day, and it's nearing the upper end of this range it's been in. So now I want to see the 65 EMA, the 20 and 10 EMA on the 60-minute chart start acting as support levels. And maybe we get a long setup next week. But if it gets rejected here on the 20-day moving average and closes weak and maybe closes near the lows of the day, you know, I'll reshort it. This is like, it's one of the leading stocks. It's one of the top leading momentum stocks in the market right now. Like, what Tesla does, you know, is a good maybe a good indicator for overall market or for similar stocks like this. So we'll see. But again, you know, next week probably we know more. Gotta have a lot. Oh, overstock looks like it's fading a bit more from entry or from my ad. Like, my entry was way higher a couple of days ago, but from my ad. Hey David, does it say I'm your best friend in your profile? No, because I ran out of characters. You can only have a certain amount of characters. So sorry, David. It doesn't say you're my best friend. Who cares about currency risk? Guys, stick to the stuff you can actually like control. Like, currencies fluctuate all the time. You can't time them. You have no idea what you're gonna do next. Don't worry about currencies. Stick to what we can control. Yeah, I do trade bear flags sometimes when like momentum stocks start breaking down. But you don't really get that many like bear flags. You get so many good, like 5-star bear flags are pretty rare compared to the like bull flags. Yeah, Workhorse is still waiting for that USPS contract news. I'm watching this SRPT as a potential long setup. It's not really a 5-star setup, but it's a biotech stock. It's a very slow. Like, none of you should trade it. I have no choice since I have a bigger account, and this is a fairly liquid stock, so I have to stick sometimes with the lower ADR stocks. But it's a pretty clean one. Made a big move where it surfed the 10 and 20, pulled back a little bit, and now it's kind of like with Snapchat. Like sometimes they do that, like they surf below the moving average, but it is building higher lows, and that's a range here that's getting tighter. Okay, so if it breaks out above that, it's a good setup, right? So right now I would say it's maybe a 3.5, 4-star setup, 4-star setup maybe. Just to illustrate it. But again, none of you should take this setup because there's gonna be so many stocks that break out. When we go into a period when breakouts start working, there's gonna be so many stocks with higher ADRs that you guys should trade that will be breaking out. But since I have a large account, I have to stick with the small larger stocks. Like I trade mostly large cap names nowadays. I very rarely trade like smaller cap trades. And also like mid caps are. I don't really trade many mid caps either. Most of the stocks I trade nowadays are large caps. Like 10 billion market cap or higher. Oh shit, I guess I should have done more shares on Overstock. I'm gonna put some buy orders on the way down. Overstock too, this is like I have 500, over 500k on unrealized right now. And I realized a bunch of profits like 2 days ago and yesterday. So this is also probably like a $700,000-800,000 trade over the past 3 days when I shorted it here on this day. This is why I track these big momentum movers, and once they lose their momentum, another stock up 4,200%. No, sorry, not 4,200, 3,500, 3,400%. And once they start getting really parabolic, really extended, then you look for weakness, like lower highs, range breaks to the downside, etc., etc. That's another method I trade, but most of you shouldn't, focus just on buying breakouts. Like shorting is much harder. You're gonna have much less success in shorting probably, and easier to do something really stupid, etc., etc. The simple breakout method I'm trying to teach you, like every single one of you in chat right now, if you really put in the work and understand the nuances of the setup, understand when it works, when it doesn't work, when you should be aggressive, when you should be defensive, when you shouldn't be trading at all, right? It takes years to get really good at it. But once you get good at it, you're guaranteed you're gonna make millions, tens of millions, guaranteed. Most of you won't, because most of you, won't get it. Like most of you won't put in the work, and many of you will give up when the market gets tough. Most of you won't be able to sit there and do nothing for weeks and sometimes some months on end when the markets are not good for breakouts. Most of you will be looking for the next shiny thing. Like every day there are stocks moving, going up or down. And sitting there and doing very little or nothing for weeks and months on end, like it's the hardest thing to do. It really is. I struggle with it all the time. Yeah, sometimes I do. Like I do mean reversion longs. Yeah, I'm actually watching INO as a potential mean reversion long for tomorrow. But that's so yeah, it's kinda like the mean reversion short. It's not exactly the opposite of it, but you know these things, you know, they work sometimes. But nothing I recommend any of you to do. It's just much harder. There's just so many things that can go wrong. I'm just trying to teach you a method where you have the least the chance to blow up. Because if you blow up, you know, you're done. Trust me, you don't want to blow up. I blew up like 3 or 4 times in my first couple of years. It's not a great feeling. Can I ask you a question? Well, you know, you just asked me a question because can I ask you a question is a question. But yes, you can keep asking me questions. Well, it's the same thing. Death by 1,000 paper cuts is the same thing as blowing up. Blowing up means you lose most or all your money. It doesn't matter if it happens in one trade or if it happens in 100 trades. It doesn't matter if it happens in an hour or if it happens in a couple of months. Have you heard of traders who trade only Amazon or only Tesla? Yeah. There are traders who only trade one stock. I really don't get the point, but you know, they're mostly scalpers. Like they scalp the same stocks, like the higher price stocks with, you know, big range, like Tesla. Like that's like probably one of the best trading stocks. But I just like scalping is probably, you know, it's the lowest point of trading. Like no one should ever do it. Like it's just waste of time. You can make money off of it, but just a hard way of making living. You have to constantly sit there and watch every single tick, you know. I mean, you're gonna be brain dead after 3 to 5 years of scalping. You're gonna be brain dead, guaranteed. Trust me, you don't want to be brain dead. Well, if you trade stocks with news or earnings, you should probably focus on the open because that's when they trigger. Many times the good ones, they've already run up a lot by the end of the day. They could have, you know, they could be up 10, 20%, 30% from the opening range highs. So if you're gonna trade stocks with news, you know, you gotta be there at the open if you want to have an edge, in my opinion. Yeah, Tesla split. It doesn't matter. Like there's like this is a $263 billion company. Even if like a million Robin Hooders go all in on this Tesla after the split, they're not gonna move the stock. They're gonna make it maybe move it a couple of percent. It's a huge company. Like every retail most retail who wants to own Tesla, they're already in it. It's a cult stock. Like it's a big retail stock. It has been like for many years. Like most of the retail people who want to own this, they're already in it. And the ones who can't afford to buy Tesla because it's you know 1,400 shares, 1,400, $1,500 per share. They have tiny accounts. Like even if a million of them buy Tesla at once, they're gonna move it like 1 or 2%. So it's just meaningless news. But people are speculating. Oh, it's gonna be bullish. That's why we watch price action. That's why we watch. How is it gonna act here? How is it acting? It's right on the declining 20 EMA. 20 day moving average. Like, can it hold here, or will it get rejected? Right? Hey Chris, can you sing? Fuck you, David. Yeah, Tesla is the ultimate trading stock, has been for many years. I agree. If Tesla breaks out today, like breaks out over that low 1500 area, I wouldn't. I would wait for it to, even if it runs up, I would wait for a tighter consolidation. Like I want to have the odds in my favor. It's just if it, even if it took out this 1520, 1530 area, no, I wouldn't. I don't know. I would probably not buy it. No, the stock would be up like 15% on a day, 12, 13. I mean, I don't know. That's a hard question. Maybe I would buy some small, like a starter, and then add if it starts building some tightness on the 60-minute chart. Like I still think, if it breaks out above this low 1500 area, this thing is gonna go to 2000 plus. 2000 plus, okay? And I wanna be there in case it does. But I'm probably not gonna buy like 3,000-4,000 shares. I'll buy maybe 1,000 or 1,500 shares, and then add if on tight areas. If you would buy Amazon today, no, I would put the stop on today's lows. Why? No, always today's lows, current day lows. The day you buy it, that's the day, that's the lows you should use. Can you get some relationship advice? Yeah, you can get some relationship advice. I can give relationship advice. Well, look, if you wanna, like, the longer time frame you have on your trades, okay, the more you need to focus on fundamentals and not just momentum. And you want stocks, if you're gonna hold a stock for many months and even quarters, there needs to be a reason for the stock to go up rather than just random momentum. Like, shorter term swing trading, you can just use momentum. You don't need any fundamentals. But, to catch a mover like this, something goes up several 100% in a short amount of time, you need fuel. The stock needs to have a reason to go up. And the fuel many times is earnings, big earnings and revenue growth. And obviously big volume. Some of my biggest winners, Fastly, Livongo, those stocks, these stocks went up 200-300% after my entry, and these had big, they had a lot of fuel, or a lot of rocket fuel, and it's called earnings and revenue growth. Now, Fastly doesn't have any earnings, but it had, pretty good revenue growth. Fastly has enormous revenue growth and even earnings growth. Like a lot of these stocks that have made big moves, like Fiverr, well, again, big revenue growth, and now it's getting earnings too. GSX2, this thing has very big earnings and revenue growth, even though a lot of, people call it a fraud. But like look at the numbers. Like the reason the stock is up or was up almost 1,000% in less than a year is because of this. Look at the revenue growth. These are the stocks that make big moves. So, I try to focus on stocks that have big earnings and revenue growth. Primarily revenue growth. They don't need to have earnings, but earnings, if they have earnings, that's a good thing. Now, obviously, I'm shorted because I got a short setup, but, and W2. Well, W was a bit trickier because it had a slow quarter here, but now, like, look at the numbers. 300% EPS growth, 84% revenue growth. These are the stocks that make big moves. Overstock, 110% revenue growth last quarter. Oh, the market sniffed it out. This is why the stock went up 2,000% before the earnings report. Those are the tricky ones. When the stock has a big run up before good numbers, it's much easier when you have a stock that reports good numbers and then goes up a lot. And that's something. If you study the big movers over the past 10, 20 years, you'll see that most of the big movers, not all of them, but most of them had big revenue and big earnings growth. Wow, Tesla, Jesus, this thing is strong. Hey, maybe I'll buy some. Maybe I'll buy some. If it closes above the 20-day, I may buy a starter, like quarter or third size. Maybe. We'll see. It's too early. Still too early. Like it could very easily, close like 1450 or something. Right now, we'll see. Have I kinda a relationship question, but more out of curiosity? Have you noticed more female interest since becoming rich? Not saying girls are gold diggers, obviously. With money comes status, respect, and safety. Well, like, I really haven't left mom's basement, I take out the garbage and stuff like that, and I go upstairs to bring food down. But like I rarely leave mom's basement, so I really don't meet a lot of girls. So I can't really say that I've noticed more female interest. Do you trade in your underwear during summer all the time? I have streamed a lot of times in my underwear, but you probably don't want to know that. Oh. I'm not single. Guys, some of you may not have noticed the irony or the sarcasm. Oh man. I wonder how many people in chat actually believe I live in mom's basement. Probably like 20-30% legit thought what I said was true. Oh. Do you enjoy having a whole day? Yeah, I get a lot of things done. I usually work out, and I get time to like do whatever I want. But I wish the market opened a bit earlier in Swedish time. It closes 10 p.m. It's a bit too late. It's hard to do anything on weekdays. Like I can't meet up with friends and stuff like that on weekdays. That sucks. But I do enjoy having like a lot of hours before the market opens. I'm not really a morning person, but so that's nice. You have friends? Well, I do have imaginary friends. Why do you not trade the Swedish market? Because there's not a lot of stocks in the Swedish market. Like US markets are like 60% of the world's market capitalization. There's no reason to be anywhere else. Yeah, actually that's true. The guy they pinned the flash crash on, which is total bullshit, like wasn't it like a British guy? He actually lived with his mom, and the guy was worth like 50 million. Kind of insane. I think he lived with his mom. It's pretty insane. What do I think about TWC? Wait. Wait. Who asked about TWC? Wait. Who asked me about TWC? Where the hell is it? Mr. Kai. Okay, yeah. Okay, so my friend is trolling me. Yeah, TWC is not a ticker. I like TWC. Nah, there wasn't really. I went through a lot of setups like in the first hour or so, or like first like 34 minutes. I don't really use my boat very often, no. I did a lot of, I day traded in the beginning. I wouldn't do it again if I had to start over again, but I didn't know. COVID situation, it's under control. Considering we never shut down like a lot of other countries did, but we still have better numbers than a lot of other countries because Swedes are natural social distancers. That's why not shutting down worked. In most other countries it wouldn't have worked. Exactly. COVID is forbidden. If you forbid COVID, there is no COVID. Well, I'm gonna show you why Swedes are natural social distancers. Okay. This is a Swedish bus stop before COVID. Okay. This is before COVID. Okay. This is what I mean by natural social distancers. Oh shit! Tesla going straight up. Oh yeah. Well. We'll see. Maybe I'll buy some late day. We had a little bit of weakness, but now a lot of stocks are starting. They're bouncing off their, undercut and bounce off their moving averages. Like you see a lot of these Momentum leaders are bouncing off their rising 20 and 50-day moving averages. Like Spotify bounced off the 50-day yesterday. This GSX is bouncing off the 20-day. Pinterest is one of the strongest ones, bouncing off the 10-day. Like you see, you know, we're starting to see a lot of setups like these. But we'll see. Oh, Overstock looks like it's gonna stop me out of my starter ad. That's fine. NVAX is still weak. I still think this thing could go to like $100 or so next few days potentially. Nvidia bounced off the 10-day. AMD looks like it undercut the 10-day and now it's trying to build a base here. All right, guys, I am done for today. Wait, I'm gonna do one last scan. Wix looks like, you know, maybe in a couple of weeks we get a good setup. It's building higher lows and looks like it's surfing the 50-day for now. Viva undercut. Like Viva can't get below the 20-day. You see this? Every time it gets below the 20-day, it just immediately reclaims. Here, 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 here. This thing too, in maybe next week, you know. Let the 50-day catch up a little bit. Yeah, we're gonna get a lot of setups. I think starting maybe like, yeah, next week I think we're gonna have a lot of setups. Or maybe later this week. Just so many things setting up all over the place. Just gotta have some patience to wait for the good setups. Can't trade all the time. Can't be a degenerate. Have to wait for the setups. All right, guys. Thanks for today, and I'll see you tomorrow.